係想要新定係舊？
佢想留翻個記錄，可能。
另外，我哋由於受到香港周邊雷雨天氣影響，本航班可能稍為延誤。如有進一步嘅消息，將隨時通知閣下，多謝各位嘅耐心等候。
有機會稍作延誤。在降落札幌前，機長會有更詳盡的飛行及天氣廣播。
做事請將安全帶扣上，以防遇到突發嘅氣流。The seatbelt is fastened and adjusted like this. To release the seatbelt, lift the buckle. Children under 2 years old must use a supplementary belt when the seatbelt sign is on. You are required to fasten your seatbelt while seated, as there may be unexpected turbulence during the flight. 當有需要時，氧氣面罩會自動跌下，先拉低面罩蓋喺後備上，再調校承受作正常呼吸。成煙先照顧自己，然後照顧小童或其他人。If oxygen is required, mask will draw automatically. Put the mask down and place it over your nose and mouth. Adjust the strap and breathe normally. Attend to yourself before helping children or others. 救生衣置於座位下。Your life jacket is located under your seat.
两线医疗而已。
2 hours later.
現在當地時間下午2點43分，氣温係攝氏26度。我哋再次感謝各位及金鵬俱樂部會員乘搭香港航空嘅航班，希望好快會再有機會為各位服務。我哋下次旅途再見，多謝。